boys, I typically do not like to update our top 10s this fast. Like, I think it was 9 days ago to the last quarterback. I usually like to wait at least 14 days or 2 weeks. But there's been, I think, 5 new quarterbacks in this top 10. Yes, 5 new quarterbacks. It's very early on, so we're getting a lot more cards. So I think updating it this early is okay. We are going to have the wide receivers updated here soon and a bunch of other top 10s. So if you guys are enjoying these, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe. Let's just jump into number 10 here. If you're looking for cheap, fast coins to build that God Squad you always wanted, check out my sponsor, U4GM, and use code SHOE for 5% off your order. Start off at number 10, we do got our guy Cam Rising. I will say he is obviously on the statue side, I guess, of quarterbacks. 77 speed typically, even in Madden days, isn't the slowest in the world, but I feel like that 80 I don't even think 80 is like a threshold. I just feels like it's so much better. I know speed is the one stat where it doesn't work as if you're 80 plus, you're going to feel the same, right? It doesn't work that way, but it does in this game feel like once you hit that 80, you feel so much faster. He kind of feels just meh in the pocket, right? I got to use this card a couple times. I will say the thing I like about him though is the throw power. That's the only reason why he's making this list. 86 throw power is a big deal. If you guys do not know, throw power equals velocity this year, so the higher it is, the faster the ball zips through the air, and that's actually really good. It's tied for the highest in the game, so that has a lot of benefits for him. The one thing though is, even with the good accuracy stats, good throw power, and somebody setting the mid blitz after you, if you're running the penny blitz or whatever, it's going to be rough if you have a little bit of baggage on your wide receivers, right? At number 9, we literally have a carbon copy of Cam Rising. We got our guy Cade McNamara. I don't know if I'm saying that all the way right, but we just did a gameplay on this card, so if you want to go back and look at it, I do gameplays on most of these cards as well, as many of you guys know, but he's basically the exact same card, but +1 speed. He has 85 short accuracy, 85 medium, so a little bit better in the accuracies right there, but he's very similar. They're both, like, I would say very similar release-wise. I don't know all the exact releases yet because the database just got put up, but I will say I actually really liked Cade. We played against a really good player, and I think it was like 5 or 6 touchdowns in that game as well, and we were getting blitzed all game long, and he was amazing. He also does get a couple decent abilities. I do like having Dot. I think Dot's very nice. It really only comes on a lot of the pocket quarterbacks, it feels like, but he's a dog. Not a bad quarterback. He's also the cheapest 86 in the game, so if you want to try him out, it's not a hard guy to, you know, cop right now. At number 8, we got our dog Jalon Daniels, one of the faster quarterbacks in the game at 83 speed. I will say the only negative is that he has 82 throw power. That's really it. And I will say even with him, and also a lot of guys I've used with low throw power, say like Cade and Salter, for example, a lot of these guys, their speed will help and benefit with that because you're throwing on the run a lot, you're getting out of the pocket a lot more. So I think there are benefits and obviously negatives to a guy like this, but having all of his accuracies above 80 while also having really good speed for this early on, and as cheap as he is now because everyone's getting that 84 pack, I think this is a guy you could try, especially if you like running a lot with your quarterback. He's definitely solid. At number 7, the most popular quarterback in MUT, and I definitely think you can argue Jalon Daniels above him, but I don't know what it is with Will Howard. Statistically, Jalon Daniels is better, right? He's faster than him. They have the same throw power, really similar accuracies. I don't know what it is with Will Howard. Maybe it's the build or whatever it is. This dude never fumbles. I swear I play against him the most. He's the card I've used a lot. I even did a video on this card earlier in the year as well when he first came out. I said earlier in the year, literally a month ago on this card. He's very good. I hate playing against this card. He's probably one of the better 84s in the game. And honestly, I don't know. Like I said, there's with cards, you just got to use them and try them out. And this is a perfect example of a guy that just plays way above his stat line. And at number 6, we have one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the game in Chandler Rogers. I will say, the one thing I like about him, though, is that he is hitting that 85 medium accuracy. I think medium accuracy is probably the one you use the most while also having great speed on him. And this is a card that probably is one of the ones on this list that you have not played against a lot. I think he is super underrated. If you go look at all the quarterbacks in the catalog, he is one of the better options. He really is. But 83 speed, basically the same throw power. I think 81, 82, you're really not going to notice the difference at all. But I do like hitting that medium accuracy. He's basically a tiny bit better. If, like, they're really carbon copies of, like, Jalon Daniels. He's good, though, man. I played against this card a lot. I don't know. He just balls out against me every time. It's rare that you find him, but he's a dog. At number 5, we have Pat White, and Pat White is a very good card on paper. 85 speed is the fastest in the game besides one other quarterback, while also having 85 throw power, so he's getting the best of both worlds right there. The one negative is with him, though, or actually there's two. 76 deep accuracy is brutal. You're going to notice it. Trust me, I got to use this card. I used him when he was a righty for our original video before they fixed him. Then they switched him to a lefty, and then yeah, I will say using him in long term, I definitely noticed the deep accuracy a lot. It was definitely brutal throwing post routes, even deep corner routes. You definitely missed a lot of throws out of bounds, or even red time. I feel like the red window was so much bigger. Like I red timed a lot more balls with this card than any other card in the game. But I will say, another negative, I want to get the negatives out the way. He is a lefty as well. Lefties get stuck in mud. It doesn't matter what your speed is, so you could really negate that speed. And I don't want to say negate it, but if somebody is creeping behind you, you try scrambling out like you would with the righty, you're going to get stuck in mud and sometimes get a sack when you never should have. But they still have not patched it. It's been like 3 years like that in Madden as well, but he's still a dog. He has to be somewhere on this list just because of the speed and throw power alone. If you can get out that pocket, he's definitely deadly. And at number 4, we got our dog, Caden Salter. You've probably seen me do a gameplay on this card. I even had him ranked very high in our last top 10 quarterbacks. He's amazing. 84 speed. He has 82 throw power. His accuracies are all great. He was the most expensive quarterback in the game for the longest time until we started getting the guys above him, the LTDs, the big names. But I will say, out of all the core cards, he feels like quarterback 1 by a mile. I actually pulled this card BND. And then, like I said, I did a video on him. And I said, like, this is the card no one was talking about before we got all these guys. He was insane. I loved him. I got to use him in like 2 natty runs. My first 9-0 gauntlet run, Caden Salter was my quarterback as well. This guy is amazing. He was using a lot of the turn-ins before the big dogs came out. If you're looking for a core guy or even just a different name out there, he's a great card to use. Boys, I know this one is tricky at number 3 because when you look at him, he is absolutely amazing when it comes to stats across the board. He is a lefty. He's also a slower lefty than Pat White, so he's going to still get stuck in the mud. But I feel like with Tua, you're only using the speed as like an escape factor. You're not using it as like a how you would set your offense up with like a Pat White or like a Caden Salter where you could scramble a lot more, right? He feels amazing throwing the ball. I don't really feel the difference with release as much this year, but in the gameplay yesterday, I was gassing him up like crazy. We played 2 amazing players, and we went off all game long. I think Tua is a dog, and I think a lot of people should be trying this card out. If you are trying somebody new, if you don't want any of the top 2 guys above him, I loved him. I don't know what it is about him. He also does get abilities compared to a guy like Salter right in the game. I will say they did cheat him on dot because it says achieve 83 throw accuracies, and all of his accuracies are 83 plus. But I don't know. Maybe it was the throw power being 85, but getting blitzed all game yesterday, we got the ball out fast. It was accurate, and we had ourselves some crazy games. And I really do like this card a lot. I really do. And at number 2, we got our man Marcus Mariota. I threw him at number 1 in the thumbnail. You guys know the thumbnail's never, I guess you can call it clickbait, but I don't want to give you guys the exact list in the thumbnail. I feel like that's cheating, right? Like why would you click on the video if you already knew 5 of the 10 cards, right? But getting past that point, Marcus Mariota, I actually have a crazy record with this card. I never lost a game with him, and I still got rid of him because number 1 is just so good at the game. But 82 speed is very good in the game. Then when you match that with 86 throw power, all of his accuracies are 82 plus. The throw on the run at 86, the play action, I will say play action feels like a fake stat in the game. I guess you could notice it sometimes, but 86 throw on the run and 86 throw under pressure. He's a beautiful quarterback, man. I think Marcus Mariota is a dog, but at number 1, we got to go with this guy. And there's not much more for me to say, right? He has he is the fastest quarterback currently in the game. 86 speed, already faster than almost every D. I mean, he's faster than every D lineman. He's faster than every linebacker, unless they're running a theme team right now, which 99.9% of people are not. And then when you look at accuracies, they gave him 85 short. The medium and deep are really good. They got great throwing to pressure. They're throwing the run. I mean, it's Lamar Jackson, man. This guy is the best quarterback every time he drops in Madden, and now he's the best quarterback probably every time he drops in college football as well. The one thing I will say it sucks is he doesn't get dot. All these other abilities feel really mid. I think Magician's been the one that a lot of people use where it helps like your movement in the pocket, but Lamar is just a card that you don't really got to think about it. If you're thinking about putting anybody else at number 1 on a list like this, you're lying to yourself. You're trying too hard. Lamar's quarterback 1. Hey boys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment down below which quarterback are you rocking right now, and hopefully we can get that wide receiver list updated for you guys soon. If we get some wide receivers in the alumni promo tomorrow, I'll probably end up dropping a top 10 wide receivers on Saturday, so make sure you guys are staying tuned for that. And also the gameplay is tomorrow. Turn on those noties, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, boys.